Look, can we talk for a moment? I need to tell you something. I, should probably have told you earlier. I don't know. I doubt it. I've never liked it, that's for sure. I told you before how Arl Eamon raised me, right? That my mother was a serving girl at the castle and he took me in? The reason he did that was because... well, because my father was King Maric, which made Cailain my half-brother, I suppose. Ha! Yes, I guess it does at that. I should use that line more often. I would have told you, but it never really meant anything to me. I was inconvenient, a possible threat to Cailain's rule, and so they kept me secret. I've never talked about it to anyone. Everyone who knew either resented me for it or they coddled me. Even Duncan kept me out of the fighting because of it. I didn't want you to know as long as possible. I'm sorry. Why wouldn't he? He was King Maric's best friend. I don't know if that means anything, though. I certainly never considered the idea that it might ever be important. At any rate, that's it. That's what I had to tell you. I thought you should know about it. Let's hope not. I'm the son of a commoner and a Grey Warden to boot. It was made very clear to me early on that there was no room for me raising any rebellions or such nonsense. And that's fine by me. Now, if there's an heir to be found, it's Arl Eamon himself. He's not of royal blood, but he is Cailain's uncle, and more importantly, very popular with the people. Though, if he's really as sick as we've heard... oh no, I don't want to think about that. I really don't. So there you have it. Now can we move on? And I'll just pretend you still think I'm some nobody who was too lucky to die with the rest of the Grey Wardens. Oh, lovely. I'm going to regret this. Somehow I just know it.
Yes? Redcliffe? I know little of it except that it is the domain of the Earl of Redcliffe. Redcliffe? I wonder how the name came to be. Is the clay here red? There are places in this world where the clay is a bright, strange red, and often, in the legends of such places, it is the red of blood. The blood of 1,000 men slaughtered in battle, or that of an innocent unjustly slain. It stains the land that it may never be forgotten. Perhaps Redcliffe has one such tale. But I do not know it.
I thought I saw travelers coming down the road, though I scarcely believed it. Have you come to help us? So you don't know? Has nobody out there heard? We heard news about the king and all the fighting. That was before everything started here. We're under attack. Monsters come out of the castle every night and attack us until dawn. Everyone's been fighting and dying.
Apparently everyone seems to agree that a blight is the perfect time to start killing each other. Marvelous, really.
We've no army to defend us. No Arl and no king to send us help. So many are dead. And those left are terrified they're next.
Hold on, what is this evil that's attacking you?
I don't rightly know. I'm sorry, nobody does. I should take you to Bann Teagan. He's all that's holding us together. He'll want to see you.
Bann Teagan, Arl Eamon's brother. He's here.
Yes. It's not far, if you'll come with me.
It's Thomas, yes? And who are these people with you? They are obviously not simple travelers.
No, my lord. They just arrived, and I thought you would want to see them.
Well done, Thomas. Greetings, friends. My name is Teagan, Bann of Rainisfere, brother to the Arl.
I remember you, Bann Teagan, though the last time we met, I was a lot younger and covered in mud.
Covered in mud? Alistair? It is you, isn't it? You're alive! This is wonderful news!
Still alive, yes. Though not for long if Loghain has anything to say about it.
Indeed. Loghain would have us believe all Grey Wardens died along with my nephew, amongst other things. So you are a Grey Warden as well. A pleasure to meet you. I wish it were under better circumstances. You're here to see my brother. Unfortunately, that might be a problem. Eamon is gravely ill. No one has heard from the castle in days. No guards patrol the walls, and no one has responded to my shouts. The attack started a few nights ago. Evil things surged from the castle. We drove them back, but many perished during the assault. They hit again the next night. Each night they come, with greater numbers. With Cailain dead and Loghain starting a war over the throne, no one responds to my urgent calls for help. I have a feeling tonight's assault will be the worst yet. Alistair, I hate to ask, but I desperately need the help of you and your friends.
It isn't just up to me. Though the Grey Wardens don't stand much chance against Loghain without Arl Eamon.
I know Alistair, and I trust those he chooses to travel with. What do you say? By all means. Once the village is safe, we will try to enter the castle to find the source of this trouble. The castle is closed to us, its doors barred. We could storm it certainly, but what would that accomplish? Our numbers are too few. We cannot throw men at the castle walls when they are needed to protect the village. I tried. Our one attempt at an organized evacuation resulted in an immediate attack. Yesterday I found out these creatures attack those fleeing on their own, even during daytime. Whatever lies in the castle wants this village dead. Then you will help us?
How pointless to help these villagers fight an impossible battle. One would think we had enough to contend with elsewhere.
Thank you. Thank you. This means more to me than you can guess. Thomas, please tell Murdock what transpired. Then return to your post.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, there is much to do before night falls. I put 2 men in charge of the defense outside. Murdock, the village mayor, is outside the chantry. Ser Perth, one of Eamon's knights, is just up the cliff at the windmill, watching the castle. You may discuss with them the preparations for the coming battle. This is hardly the time to be discussing personal details, don't you think? We will have to fight for our lives very shortly. I suppose that's not too much to ask. I did not mean to be brusque. Skilled enough to know there are many far better than myself. After the first attack, I wanted to go for help, but I couldn't just leave these people. The Bann gear up to battle Loghain, while Darkspawn loom to the south. Loghain won't send anyone, so Redcliffe is on its own. I don't know. If Connor lives, he'll be the Arl, and I'll need to help him with it. If he's... well, I don't want to think about that. Good, then my secrets are still safe. I was worried for a moment there. I do not know. They seem to be walking corpses, men with rotting flesh that continue to attack even with the gravest injuries.
Undead, spirits possessing the dead. There could be several causes behind such a thing, none of them pleasant.
I have those few who returned from their quest. You know of this, yes? Yes, I question Isolde's decision to send so many knights in search of this relic. But I am a practical man, whereas she is a woman of great faith. Ser Perth was one of the knights sent on this quest. Perhaps you should speak to him if you wish to learn more. Ser Perth insists. He wants me to be with the villagers, so everyone he needs to protect is in one place. I don't mind, to be honest. The point of all this is to protect the villagers, and I can do that best here. This is the last line of defense, should things go amiss. Should the monsters find their way in. I would prefer not to fight in the chantry, but if they come, then so must it be. We could bring some men in to stand beside me, but I'd rather keep the monsters away from the villagers if possible. Very well. Luck be with you, my friend.
You are of elven blood and a stranger, yet you defend a home that is not your own. We are grateful for that. Many elves claim we wouldn't do the same in return. I would like to think that is not true, but I cannot speak for all. Allow me to introduce myself. I am revered Mother Hannah, head of this chantry, which for the moment is a place of refuge for these poor villagers.
How awful this must be for you all. Is this everyone who's left?
All those who cannot defend themselves, yes. They are terrified of tonight's attack, and I fear these walls will not keep them safe. What can I do to help with your task? It is the sturdiest building in the village. The women, elderly, and children will stay here during the battle, while the militia and knights protect them. They set up a barricade outside the chantry to keep monsters from getting inside. If anything gets in, Bann Teagan is our only defense. Please, have mercy. Help these people. Do whatever you can. May the Maker watch over you, child.
You're a Grey Warden, right? Were you in Ostagar? In the Korkari Wilds? My husband and son went there to bring the Chant of Light to the Chastened, but I haven't heard from them since. I am. You've heard of me? I thought that might be the case. Thank you for telling me. Maker's blessings upon you.
Sorry, am I bothering you? I'll try to be more quiet. Those things dragged my mother away. I don't know what happened to her, but I hear her screaming all the time. Everywhere.
How terrible, you poor thing. I wish there was something we could do to help.
And now my brother Bevan, he ran off. I don't know where he is. I'm so scared they got him too. He said something about saving Mother. He's just a little boy. He doesn't understand she's gone.
If he has foolishly run off, then he is no doubt dead. You should get used to that fact.
Nice. Maybe you want to kick her in the head while you're at it.
Shall we comfort her with lies? If she is to face death, better she face it honestly.
I hope he didn't try to go to the castle. Oh, that would be awful. I went to our house. It's by the square. He wasn't there. I searched the rest of the village too. I called and I called, but he never answered. I wonder if he ran off into the woods. I'm so worried. Without me, he has nobody. You will. Thank you so much. Please find him.
Go away. This isn't your home. This is my home. My home, you hear me? No, I'm not going back there. I won't. How do you know my name? Did she tell you to take me back to the Chantry? Don't make me go back there. I hate that place. I hate it. Maybe. But she just tells me not to be scared, even though she is. She tells me not to be sad, but she keeps crying because Mother died. I don't want to be sad. I'm brave. I'm going to be a hero. I'm going to fight them off. I will. No. I just heard you coming, and I guess that's not very brave of me, is it? I'll come out now. All right, I came out. You won't hurt me, will you? I'll go back to the Chantry if you really want. Yes, it was my mother's house. She's dead now. And Caitlin said we have to move away if we survive. I can't tell you. It's a secret. You could. All right, I guess. Father said I could have his sword when I grew up. It was Grandfather's, and Grandfather was a great dragon slayer. I thought, if I was brave like Grandfather, I could use his sword and kill the bad people who took Mother. Thank you, sir. But the sword is too heavy for me. I guess I'm not as strong as someone like you. That doesn't help us now. Caitlin says everyone's going to die tonight. Yes, sir. In the chest. In Mother's room. Father gave me a key, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone. You could? Maybe you could give my sister money? She said if we had money, we'd be alright, even if Mother is dead. Oh, alright. Here's the key. I hope you use it to kill a lot of those bad people. I should go back to the chantry. Good luck.
Bevan said you were the one who found him. I can't possibly repay you. Bevan told me about Grandfather's sword. So you have it then? I suppose it won't go to waste, at least. I have no idea what it's worth, to be honest. And you found Bevan. I couldn't ask you for money. Thank you. That's certainly a lot of coin. How can I ever repay you? The Maker sent you. I just know it. Thank you again.
So you're the Grey Warden, are you? I heard they all died with the king. Huh. If it takes a ghost or two to kill a horde of evil monsters, I'll take it. But you look plenty alive to me. We aren't gonna turn aside anyone who wants to help, though. Don't take me for being an ingrate or nothing.
Well, we do want to help however we can. You can trust us.
Name's Murdock, mayor of what's left of the village, providing we aren't all killed and hauled off to the castle tonight.
My men are certain enough as it is that they'll die tonight. They don't need me quivering in my boots. My death will come soon enough. It don't need me hurrying it along.
Anyhow, you're here, and they tell me you're in charge.
Oh? Ask away. We're the last defenders of them folks in the chantry. The women, elderly, and the children. They're the ones we need to protect. No matter what happens, we can't let them evil things in there. If they die, the village is done.
Don't rightly know. We heard the Arl was sick and getting worse, but after a while we heard nothing at all. A few folks went up to the castle to see what was going on. They couldn't get in. Nobody was there, not a soul. And then those horrid creatures attacked the village. They were everywhere, people dying. It was awful. Good thing Bann Teagan was here. No, I know the Arlessa sent the knights out for a cure. You can ask Ser Perth about it. He was one of them.
All right. We need what little armor and weapons we got repaired, and quickly, or half of us will be fighting without either. Owen's the only blacksmith who can do it, but the stubborn fool refuses to even talk. If we're to be ready for tonight, we'll need that crotchety bastard's help. Not by nightfall, and not well enough that I'd be happy to test it in combat. If there were others, don't you think I'd ask them? His daughter, Leliana, is one of the Alessa's maids, so he hasn't heard from her since this whole business started. He demanded we attack the castle, break down the gate, and force our way in. I said it was impossible, but he wouldn't listen. He's locked himself in the smithy now. I can't force him to do repairs. He said he'd rather die first. We could use some extra bodies. Having a veteran like Dwyn in the militia would help a lot, but he flat out refuses. He's a trader, a dwarf, lives near the lake. Locked himself up in his home with some of his workers, he has. Says he doesn't need any of us. We could use somebody with his fighting experience, but he won't come out. Shouldn't you be trying to reason with Owen? Oh? Ask away. If you want weapons and such, you'd go to the blacksmith, but there isn't much left there. Commerce isn't exactly our biggest concern right now, but you might want to speak to Lloyd at the tavern. I wouldn't trust him, though.
Right. Let's hope we see morning.
Go away. Curse you! Leave me in peace! You've already taken everything out of my stores. There's nothing left. Huh? Who is that? What do you want? I've been through enough. If you didn't notice, the smithy is closed, the forge is cold, you've come to the wrong place. That's so. Well, if Murdock wants more weapons, you can give him the same answer I did. He can make them himself. All right. But I don't know why you're so determined. Here, I'll get the locks.
Maker's breath. What is that smell? It's like someone set a brewery on fire.
Somebody's been drinking.
So I let you in. You wanted to talk. Now we're talking. Mind telling me who you are? A Grey Warden, is it? It takes all kinds. Funny, you didn't sound like an elf through the door. Can't say I expected that. Anyhow, my name's Owen, though you might already know that. Care to join me as I get besotted? Or is there something in particular you wanted? I've been drinking since I got up this afternoon. That makes, 3 days, maybe more. Look around. The militia took everything they could use. I could start up the forge again, but I won't, since Murdock won't listen to me. Everything that they could find, sure. Walked in here and took it all right off the walls. Why should I help Murdock when he won't help me? My girl, Leliana, is one of the Alessa's maids, and she's trapped up there in the castle, but the mayor won't send anyone for her. She's been my life since my wife passed on 2 years ago. Now she's dead, or soon to be. I don't care what happens to me or the village, or anyone! Why not? It's not like we're going to live past the night anyhow. Or are you going to save us? Is that so? Maybe it's the drink talking, but you almost sound like you believe that. Tell you what, if you want me to do repairs for Murdock and his men, promise me you'll go into the castle and find my daughter. It would be better than going to my grave wondering. If you look for Leliana, I'll reopen the smithy and make some repairs for the militia. I can do that much. Not good enough. Murdock said the same damn thing, and I didn't believe him either.
You were asking a great deal, you wretched little man.
I want a promise. Promise me that you'll look for her. That you'll bring her back to me if you can. Eventually, they'll want to seek out the Arl and Arlessa. And when they do, you go in and bring my Leliana to me. Nothing besides your conscience. You got one of them. Then I'll take what I can get and leave the rest to the Maker's grace. I'll accept that. It's something to hope for, at least.
Oh, lovely. Shall we next begin rescuing kittens from trees?
Right then. It seems I have some work to do relighting the forge, and I suppose I'll have to find some iron. Maybe at the mill. Murdock just better send his men here as soon as possible if I'm gonna get to all these repairs and get them done by nightfall. If you need anything done, well, just let me know. I've got a lot to do now, so you'll have to excuse me.
Yes? Ask what you will. Yes, I shall take that as a compliment, whether intended or not. Is there more? It's a clumsy start, but we can move on to the flirting if you like. Let us continue on then, while I think of something to rhyme.
I must admit, it feels good to be up and doing something finally. There's no way I'm sobering up before morning, however. I've you to thank for that, stranger. Just do what you've promised, and it will have been worthwhile. You mean, why are these creatures attacking the village? Obviously something wicked corrupts the castle. My daughter used to tell me the Arlessa was up to something, hiding things from her husband. I told Leliana she was imagining things, but maybe the Arlessa was involved in something. Blood magic, maybe. She thought the Arlessa was having an affair with some tutor she hired for the boy, Connor. I never listened much to her talk about it, though I wish now I had. It doesn't matter anyway. She's lost to me, and I can't do anything about her warnings now. Only that she's an Orlesian girl from beyond the Western Mountains. Far too young for our Arl. That's what I say. And too proud and headstrong from the sounds of it. I'd never make such accusations, but maybe, if she was using foul magic, then maybe she just did at that. Of course not. And who would I tell? And what good would it do now, eh? I just wish I'd paid more heed to my girl. Like what? Right. I haven't got much, obviously, but I'll do whatever I can for you.
Wonderful. Intruders. I hope you have a good reason for breaking and entering into my home. Apology accepted. The name's Dwyn. Pleased to meet you. Now get out. Surviving. We have supplies to last for quite some time. And my boys and I can swing a weapon better than any of those fools out there. Why? When did this town ever rush to my rescue? You look more than competent. With you out there, they don't really need me, do they? Thanks. But I'll take my chances in here. Everyone else can run around in the open waiting to die. Maybe. Let's hear what you've got. So, that's what it comes down to, huh? Fine. I'll go. If you want me out there so badly. Huh. Spoken like someone who doesn't know me very well. Go tell Murdock he won. And I better see you out there in the square when those creatures come.
Not looking for company. And that's all we have in common. I'm not here to talk. Just leave me to drink, all right? I just want to be left alone.
Hello there, friend. Can't say we've ever met before. Stranger to the village, I take it. Haven't had many travelers lately. All this nonsense is bad for business. Bet you regret coming, yes? Oh, you know, evil creatures, impending doom, civil war, and the Arl's dead in the castle. Makes you thirsty, don't it? So, what'll it be? You are here to drink, I hope. Name's Lloyd. We don't get many elves out here. You're a runaway from the city. Ah, well, learn something new every day. Something else I can get for you? Fine. Make them quick. Not a lot. Castle guards stopped coming in about a week back. It's unusual, too. They were my main source of business. After a few days, I thought it strange enough to ask. But nobody heard anything. Anyone going up to the castle didn't come back. When the first attack hit, I locked myself in the cellar. I say we just wait for help to come. I'm not abandoning my tavern because of a few monsters. The second I'm in the chantry, Murdock and his men will be here drinking all my ale. Not much. Says his name's Berwick. Arrived here more than a week back. Waiting for his brother, he says. I've never seen him before, but he paid good for his room. Quiet sort. Something else I can get for you? Right, I've got some supplies too, in case you're interested. With the store closed down, it doesn't hurt to pick up some of the slack, eh?
Another doomed soul come to drown their sorrows here, I see. If you came here for a drink, you'll have to talk to Lloyd. He's got a vice grip on the spigots. I'm just here to keep the boys from mutiny. Later on, yes. Lloyd will lock himself in the cellar, and I'll go to the chantry. Are you fighting tonight? That's good to hear. I didn't know that. What business? Without the castle soldiers, the only customers we have are local, and they're all in the militia with no money to spend. The few with any money are here, but it's not enough to justify working. Lloyd's a greasy pig, and if I didn't need this job so badly, He gropes me and pays me next to nothing. But I suppose it could be worse. Not like I've got many options. And go where? With no money and no prospects, I just end up somewhere else working for someone worse. What can you do? Girls like me don't get much choice if we don't want to join the chantry. And it's too late to get married. Not much. He's very quiet. Says his name's Berwick and he's here to meet his brother, but I think he's lying. He's a bit creepy. Keep safe.
I can't believe Lloyd won't even give us some free ale. A time like this, and all he thinks about is turning a profit.
Did you expect any different? That bastard's always been cheaper than an ante from the hall.
Here we are defending the village, and he don't even have the decency to help us out.
Ha! I've seen Lloyd handle a sword. He should stick to something he knows about, like keeping me nice and drunk for the fight.
Lloyd is charging us for coin we don't even got anymore. Nobody's working right now. We're all just trying to survive.
What difference does it make? He won't care.
Hey, what can Lloyd get you? Fine. Make them quick. Why? When them creatures attack, I lock myself in the cellar. Just batten the hatches and wait it out. What's the point in getting myself killed with all the rest of them? If that makes me a coward, then I'm a coward. But Bann Teagan said we didn't have to. He said... Fine, I'll go. But all of this better be here when I get back. I don't want the place drunk out from under me. Blasted bloody...
I said I'm not looking for company. Why? I don't live here. Just waiting until I can leave again. What? How did you know that? Well, that's my name. Why? No reason. I just didn't know how you knew my name, that's all. Oh, I guess that, makes sense.
There's something about this man's demeanor. I don't know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But you do, don't you? I know a spy when I see one.
Look, just because you're an elf doesn't mean we should be friends. I was just told to... just leave me alone. Nothing! Nobody told me to do anything. Just because you're a Grey Warden doesn't mean you can go around threatening people. I just, overheard it, that's all. If you'll excuse me, I want to get to the chantry before the sun goes down. But I never... Oh, all right, I'll tell you. Just don't hurt me. This is more than I bargained for. Look, they just paid me to watch the castle and send word if anything should change. But they never said anything about monsters. I haven't even been able to report anything since this started. I'm stuck, same as you, I swear. Just to report any changes, honest. All I could send word about was the Arl getting sick. After that, monsters started coming from the castle. I don't know anything about these creatures. When the Arl got sick, I got scared that people would think I was involved. But I swear I don't know anything about it. They sent me to watch. Maybe they knew the Arl would get sick. I don't know. A tall fellow, I forget his name, he said he was working for Hal. Arl Rendon Hal. He's an important man, Taron Loghain's right hand. So I didn't do anything wrong. Here, this is a letter from them. It has instructions and everything. Keep it, do whatever you want with it. I just thought I was serving the king and making a bit of coin on the side. You have to believe me. Oh, all right, I'll do it. Thank you for your mercy. I won't forget it.
Greetings, Grey Warden. I am as relieved as Bann Teagan is to see you here. I must admit, I do not know how to address an elf in your position. I do not wish to be rude. Grey Warden it is, then, and thank you kindly. I am Ser Perth, until recently in direct service of Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. For now my charge is defending the village from these evil assaults. Would that I had chosen not to seek out the urn of sacred ashes. Perhaps I would have fended off whatever evil befell the castle, or perhaps I would be dead. Ah well, with a Grey Warden aiding our defense, perhaps all is not lost. Ask me whatever you wish. You know about as much as I do. I returned a day before the attacks began, having heard strange rumors about the abandoned castle. I was the only knight to survive the first attack. Since then I found others returning from the Arlessa's quest. Until we get to the source of this evil, though, I do not think it will stop, and I don't believe we will be enough. When the Isle fell sick, we were at a loss. Nothing worked to cure him, and he just kept getting worse. Finally, Arlessa Isolde came up with a plan. The Urn of Sacred Ashes is a legendary artifact said to hold great healing powers. If found, it might save him.
They say the followers of Andraste smuggled her ashes out of Tevinter and hid them in Ferreting. The urn's never been heard of since.
We knights volunteered to seek it out. Few of us have returned. Many are still out there, unaware of what is happening here. Not at all. A great number of soldiers remained in Castle Redcliffe. I wonder if they perished there and were transformed into these things. The thought chills my blood. Eventually, perhaps. The ones I have here were those near enough to recall within the last few days. I only returned myself because I was passing by Redcliffe and heard the news of strange attacks. We were never certain. He thirsted for water and then grew weaker and weaker. We brought in a mage, but even that did nothing. The Arlessa believed he was cursed and that we needed the power of Andraste herself, or he would surely perish. The Arl once employed a scholar, Brother Genetivi. He had proof the urn was in Ferreting, or so I was told. As you wish. We have sufficient armor and weapons, but my knights are too few to stand against the monsters without assistance. Perhaps you could approach Mother Hannah in the Chantry for some holy protection against these evil creatures. Otherwise, I do not know what else you could provide beyond your own talents. We're as prepared for the onslaught as we could possibly be, all things considered. No, nothing comes to mind. If you have not spoken to the mayor, Murdock, you should. His militia is far more in need of aid than we are. As you wish, Grey Warden. Make a watch over you.
What is it you need, child? I have done all I can for them. I pray for them each night and seek the Maker's forgiveness for their sins before they face their deaths. What Ser Perth seeks is something that is not in my power to give. I can pray with them and give them my blessing, but Ser Perth wants me to call upon the Maker to shield them from evil.
Well, can't you just tell him the Maker will watch over him? Morale is a powerful thing, you know.
You mean you want me to let them think the Maker protects them in a real sense? I will not lie to them like that. Indeed. I know Ser Perth means well, but I will not lie to him about something so important. I cannot do it. I know that their own faith may inspire them, but these men need to find confidence on their own. I simply won't lie to them. Now please, let me tend to these poor folk. I must do what I can, and I suggest you do the same.
The Knights of Redcliffe are ready to fight at your disposal. Although we are far better equipped than Murdock and his villagers, we knights are too few. Things will be grim after sundown. Overall, my fellow knights are nervous about the coming battle. Death is almost certain, but we will fight and die valiantly if that's what the Maker demands. Have you spoken to the revered mother? Has she offered anything? I see. Then I suppose we must simply rely on our own prayers. The Maker will not help us. Thank you for your efforts. We shall fight on, nevertheless. No one told me of this. Oil, you say? How much exactly? Assuming that would hurt them. Yes, I see what you have in mind. That might be effective, if used carefully. Yes, excellent idea. I'll send some men to collect the oil. We'll use it to slow these creatures down. Have you anything else to ask me in the meantime? As you wish, Grey Warden. Maker watch over you.
I hear you got the tavern serving the militia free ale now. While I don't favor my men being drunk come sundown, I suppose it helps morale to have their minds taken off what's to come. You have my thanks. Well, it looks like Owen's finally doing the repairs we need. The damn fool is falling over drunk and still manages to make smithying look easy. Good enough, I say. I'll inform Bann Teagan the militia is ready to fight. We'll give those bastards a welcome they won't soon forget. I hope you're right. We may just be village folk, but we're going to fight like there's no tomorrow. The men's spirits are high for now. Far better than I expected, to be honest. Dwyn's presence makes the men a bit more confident. It helps to know a veteran is on our side tonight. My men are getting free drinks at the tavern. I suppose it's better to drown your fears rather than go mad waiting for certain death. I'm tempted to have a few ales myself. Since you convinced Owen to start repairs, we're pretty well armed now. That is a relief, let me tell you. Overall, I'd say the militia's very ready to fight. Never thought I'd say that, but there you go. Is there anything else? Are you sure? There's still time left if you need to talk with Ser Perth or do anything else. Then good luck to you. You'll need it.